Research Information Management System. This is my presentation overview. What is Research Information Management System? Why we need Research Information Management System, particularly in the institute level? How the research-related information shared or disseminated, the challenges in the research ecosystem, how the research information-related query addressed today. Then I'm talking about overview of Indian Research Information Management System, the data workflow, the future and functionality of IRINS, and their implementation and current status. This is my presentation overview. First of all, what is Research Information Management System? A Research Information Management System is an integrated system organized to all the research related activities in the institute level and provide new insight as well as support the organization unit for research planning as well as funding decision. Actually, the Research Information Management System to collect all the research related metadata from different sources and provide new insight to the research related data about the institute. The major entities of any research information management systems are the people who involved in research, the organization, the project, and their outputs. One of the key components of any research information management system is system interoperability. It is not only the internal system as well as external system. The internal system such as HR management system, project management system, institutional repository. The system also should support external software as well as systems such as citation database, identity providers, funding repositories, and academic identities. These are a different external system. The research information management system should support internal as well as external data interoperability. That is a main core feature of any research information management system. Why we need research information management system? Often as a research administrator are cited, where the university doing their research project, how to find impact of the research contribution of the faculty member, department as well as organization. National level as well as that institute level research administrator, they used to ask, these are the question to the it may be the IQAC coordinator or the library professional. Because often the funding agency, policy maker, they often used to ask the data about the institute for various assessments. These are the reason we need a research information management system in the institute level. How research related information shared or disseminated? Most of the institute, their faculty information, it may be available in the HR system. The whatever project they are doing, those information available in the research information grant management system. Their publication, open access article available in the respective institutional repository. Apart from that, some of the research related research output available in the preprint archives, publisher website, academic identity registries such as Archit ID, Scopus ID, Google Scholar ID, Microsoft Academic. These are the different places. All our research related information disseminated as well as shared. Apart from that, social media repositories such as ResearchGate, Academia, these are the other places people used to share their research related activities. The challenges in the research ecosystem: research activities not discoverable or interoperable. Most of you from library background, you know about that. What is that discoverable as well as interoperable? Suppose if you are using in the library automation, if you are using some standard software, it has that interoperability, it has the discoverability. Even if you want tomorrow, you want to change your software one to another, Sol to Koha or Koha to Sol, whatever it may be, if your system has some kind of interoperability, it will support. That's called that interoperability. That at present, whatever the profile management system or research information management system in the institute level, it is not having that interoperability. For example, some institute, they may have their own faculty profile in the, what is it called, PDF format. Some institute, they may have in the HTML format. Some institute, they may use some Java or some other languages to display their profile information. These information, since they don't follow any standard, it does not have any interoperability. Even this data won't talk with each other. That is a major challenge. Second, The publication do not necessarily reflect expertise. If you take any citation database, they will identify an expert, identify an organization based on the publication where they have published the article. But at present, based on the faculty profile information in the institute, whether it's a PDF or HTML, we can't assess which area the faculty is expertise in. Based on the publication, whether we could assess, it is not at all possible. Hard to find right expert, whether for integrated research or any other research, it is very difficult to find an expert within an organization as well as outside organization. Nowadays, it is most important to have a profile management system or research information management system to showcase entire research activities of the faculty members, so that easily anybody can find expert whichever their field, as well as they can approach the relevant expertise for their collaborative research or whatever it may be. The increased expenditure in citation database, that is another challenges. If you take India today, hardly 250 institutes they are using this citation database, famously that Scopus or Web of Science. Remaining institute, they don't have that much facility, though they don't have that much of affordability to subscribe those citation databases. They have to depend on some other sources such as Google Scholar, Microsoft Academic Search, or whatever it may be. That is another challenges. The fourth last challenge is retrieving research related information for various assessment. Often the accuracy coordinator or research administrator, they have to depend on faculty member to collect all the research related activities for various assessment, or when they give the data to some funding agency or national assessment agency, whatever it may be. These are the different challenges in the academic system at present in the research ecosystem. How the research information related queries addressed today? As I told earlier, we used to depend on these major databases such as Scopus as well as Web of Science. If you take entire higher education institution, hardly 0.6% of the institute they have this privilege to access this database. If you take only degree awarding institutes, only 25% of the institute they have this privilege to access this citation database for their research related queries to be addressed. Otherwise, remaining institute they used to depend on this Google Scholar, Microsoft Academic Search. Recently, one more product has also launched by the digital science, that is called a Dimension. Then one more project recently they have launched another project called that Lens. These are the different projects, but even though it is very difficult to analyze the department level research productivity or the institute level research productivity, these, for example, Google Scholar, Microsoft, they are doing great work, but it is very difficult to assess which area the department is progressing, which area the department has published more number of articles, what is the expertise of Scholar, Microsoft Academic Search. What are the driving force to adopt DRIM in the institute level? Whether it's a funding agency, policymaker, or individual faculty members, they want independent, transparent research information management system to assess the impact of the research. It leads to national level agencies, assessment agencies such as Research Assessment Exercise. Now they have renamed as Research Excellence Framework. They made it as a mandatory in the UK. Every institute, they should have their own research information management system to provide data to this national level research assessment system. The same way other countries also they have university lead research assessment, in Netherlands research assessment exercise in Hong Kong, National Board of Accreditation India, they are also assessing the institute performance over a period of time. And then recent addition is National Institute Ranking Framework. Recently they have launched that ranking. For these are the driving force. Earlier institute they least bother about their data. Nowadays they want to be ranked, whether it's a national or international level. Their data has to be curated. Their data has to be corrected everywhere. Even earlier, people least bother about their affiliation as well as their what is it called name in the when we write the article. But nowadays, every institute they are very keen. You should write your affiliation in the same format. Otherwise, whenever we give a data to any kind of assessment, national or international level, our research output, it will mislead or it will go away from our credential. These are the national level research assessment agencies, they are all driving force to adopt the research information management system in the institute level. Why we need research information in the institute level? Recently, OCLC and Eurocris, they conducted a survey all over the world. There was one question, importance of why the institute, they are implementing this research information management system. You can have a look at it. The top three: managing annual academic activity reporting. 58% of the participants, they told it is extremely important for them. Supporting institutional compliance, supporting institutional research reputation, and strategic decision making. These research information management system support the organization to make a decision when they provide fund to the faculty members, department, or other organization unit. This research related data play a very crucial role. Based on the data, they can provide to the particular department or particular faculty. Whenever the faculty member go for promotion, they can use this data in an effective way. Instead of collecting data from the individual faculty member, this research information management system with the transparent data, it will give more accurate assessment about faculty member as well as department. Standard protocol in research information management system. CASRI, you may hear about that, Consortia Advancing Standard Research Administration Information. Actually, they have defined some vocabulary. What are the information? How to define various entities in the research information management system? They are the agencies. They are working since 2012 to make some kind of vocabulary for research information management system. The another one is Common European Research Information Format. All of you know about MARC 21, ISO 2709. These are all standard format for our bibliographical data about book as well as library resources. The same way, the Eurocris, European Current Research Information, developed a standard called Common European Research Information Format to interchange your research information management system. Suppose today you are using one software, tomorrow you want to migrate to another software. If your system have this compatibility with this standard, easily you can migrate with any research information management system. Apart from that, Vivo developed the DuraSpace, developed the ontology to define all the research related activities in various parameters. Apart from that, another standard, OAPMH, Open Archive Initiative Protocol for Metadata Harvesting. This standard also used in the research information management system to retrieve all the research related activities from the external sources. Major source of that metadata, any research information management system, we can't define within a particular citation database or institutional repository. Actually, we have to depend on various sources of data. For example, if you take Scopus, we can have article as well as research related information, more of science as well as engineering. If you go to Web of Science, there they used to have more number of social science. Science is there, but more number of social science and science is there. But whereas engineering, very less number of data will be available in the Web of Science. If you take that PubMed, only that medical, most of them medical related information available in the PubMed. That's the reason we should not depend on single source. We have to depend on various sources based on their faculty members as well as their respective area of which area the institute is expertise. For example, if it is a medical related institute, they used to depend on what is called PubMed or some other sources for their research related publication or metadata. Apart from that, the PubMed Central, Google Books, Crossref. Crossref is a unique agency. They used to collect all the publication all over the world. Based on the DOI, they used to collect all the publication metadata. That is a unique agency. They used to provide DOI for all the articles. Same way, WorldCard, Baysearch. Baysearch is another search engine. They used to provide this bibliographical information to anyone. They can retrieve data. It is a product of Basefield University. They developed a search engine. They used to retrieve bibliographical data from all over the world, wherever the data publicly available. For example, institutional repository, the publisher website, they are providing more number of API to get what is it, color code or whatever it may be from their source. Apart from that archive, all of you know about that. One of the famous preprint archive in physics. Nowadays, they started in various subjects. Same way SSRN, MLA, International Bibliography, DBPL, it is related to computer science. These are all different sources. These metadata publicly available. We can retrieve the data and we can make use of it for our research information management system. The role of library to adopt a research information management system, metadata entry, since the library and library professional, right from the beginning, they are involved in the metadata entry in terms of their organizing their library resources. They can well versed with this metadata entries. They can be explore the possibility to implement the research information management system in the institute level. They can collect all the research related metadata from different sources. Maintaining and serving technical operation, even as a nodal officer from the institute to the what is it called national level research information management system, they can have their own what is it called mechanism to implement this research information management system in the institute level. Training and support, even they are well versed with this metadata, all this research academic identity, these databases. They can provide some kind of training to the faculty member why we need this research information system, what are the benefit, what are the impact, those kind of things they can do in the institute level. Metadata validation and workflow, creating internal report. Even the librarian, they can generate various report based on this research information. If the institute have a research information management system, the librarian can generate various report. Suppose the department, how the department is performing, what is the productivity over a period of time, what is the total number of citation, what is the H index. Often institute used to ask data to the librarian. Can you give all the department wise last 3 years, how many articles they have published, how many citations they received, what is the H index for a period of time. Those kind of report they can generate. As a librarian, they can generate various report from the research information management system. Open access, copyright and deposit. Since librarian, they are well versed with these are the technology terms, open access, copyright. They can very well versed with these are the technical terms. They can access different sources. They can guide research administrator in which way we can use this data. What are the copyright violations when we use all those things they can guide. Research data management, impact assessment and reporting, as I said earlier, they can support the research administrator or IQAC. For example, last 3 years, how many articles we have published, what is the citation, in which area which journal we have published more number of articles, whether we have published in open access or closed access, those kind of assessment they can do based on this data. Outreach and communications, librarian, they can communicate with all the faculty members, since by providing various library resources, they have very good communication with the faculty members. They can use their skills to make a communication as well as outreach activities to familiarize with this research information management system in the institute level. What are the major commercial RIM? Some of you may know about that. Pure is a product of elsewhere. It is a research information management system. Most of the Western country, they are using this software Pure. The same way that Symplectic Element, it is a product of digital science. There also, it's a commercial software. It is also used in most of the Western countries. Canver is another commercial software. It is a product of Clarivate Analytics. There also it is a commercial research information management system. The institute want to implement this research information management system, they have to subscribe. The particular institute has to subscribe to make use of this research information management system. There is a difference between this commercial research information management system as well as citation database. If an institute have a citation database, they can have a look at it, what their faculty member have done, as well as they can have a look at it, what other faculty member done all over the world. That is, if they have within the institute, they can have. But whereas this research information management system, not only you, the entire world come to know which kind of work you are doing. It is publicly, there is one of the component of research information management system is that faculty profiling. This profile publicly available. Anybody can have a look at it. They can have a look at which area the particular faculty member is expertise, the department is expertise, what are the funding, what are the project they are doing, what is the research progress of the institute, all those things, even anybody can view from the outside. There is a major difference between this research information management system as well as citation database. Apart from that, some of the open source research information management systems available. The earlier one is Vivo. Vivo is earlier they developed in the Cornell as well as 7 US based university they developed for the institute. Then later it became a open source tool, and now DuraSpace is an incubator to promote Vivo. Vivo basically a profile management system. All over world, near about 175 institutes they are using this Vivo profile management system. You can explore using this software that is called that Vivo. Another one is Profile. Profile is developed by Harvard University. Harvard University also same kind of, they developed this software for only for internal use. Later they make it as a open source tool. And then the third one is DSpace Chris. DSpace Chris is a extension of DSpace software. They have added some kind of Chris component, current research information system component, such as usage statistics and analytics about that faculty member, how many times the faculty member article viewed, cited, and how many times on the social media those articles discussed, those kind of metrics, as well as that individual faculty member as well as department unit, all those information they have added in the existing DSpace, that is called DSpace Chris. The last one is IRINS, Indian Research Information Management System. I'm going to talk much about that in the later slides. Major organization around the world to promote RIM. As I said earlier, Eurocris, they are the pioneer in the promoting current research information management system in the all over the world. They started in the year 2002. They have developed the standard called that SERIF, already I told you. Apart from that, every biannual they are conducting conference, CRIS conference, current research information system conference. Biannually they are conducting conference since 2002, and they are doing so much work to promote research information management system in the institute level all over the world. And then second one is that DuraSpace. All of you, most of the library professional, you may know about that. DuraSpace, who is the incubator to promote DSpace as well as Fedora. Now recently they are the incubator for Vivo. Also they are creating new add-on that is called the DSpace Chris. They are also promoting research information management system through this DSpace Chris. The third one is Harvard Profile. That is a product of Harvard Catalyst. As I said earlier, first Profile was developed only for their Harvard University. They have different units, different places. They have different units. For that purpose, they have used Profile. Now it is become open source software. Anybody can use it. Then IRINS. Actually, it is a when I was at Inflinet Center, we started this project in 2017. Now it is funded under Ministry National Mission on Education through ICT under Ministry of HRD. IRINS, even though we have a different, as I said earlier, we have some commercial management system like Pure, Symplectic Element, and apart from that, we have other research. Apart from that, we have other research information, open source research information management system, Vivo, DSpace Chris. The major challenge is infrastructure. All of you may know about that, in how much difficult to get the infrastructure in the institute. Or we should have some kind of technical expertise to implement a research information management system. If you have, suppose if you are going for commercial, you need a huge money, or if you're going for any open source, you should have some kind of technical expertise to implement the research information management system, or you should have a separate team to handle all those things. All of you know about that. How many institutes we have that the institutional repository, even though DSpace they started since very long, 2009 or something, but still now most of the institutes they don't have institutional repository. The major challenge is most of the institutes they don't have proper infrastructure. Apart from that, we need some kind of technical expertise to implement. That's the reason the IRINS we started. Keep in mind, we should not give at present. We should not give as a software. We should provide as a software as a service. Then only we can reach out more number of institutes. The research information, IRINS software developed by Inflinet Center in collaboration with the Central University of Punjab. It financially supported by National Mission on Education through ICT. At present, this software is available as a software as a service for all the higher education institution as well as R&D organization. Future, we are going to release as an open source tool, RIM as an open source tool. The entire academic community, even entire world. That is our plan.
Kannan sir,
The genesis of IRINS. Hello?
Yes, sir. Sir, there is something blocking your screen. We can't see your full screen. Could you please stop sharing and again share your PPT?
Yeah, just a minute. I'll stop. Now it is fine?
Sir, it is just opening. Give us a minute.
Yeah.
No, sir. We can still see a black patch on the right-hand side of your screen.
Just a minute.
Sir, what I recommend is once you stop sharing, you close your PPT
Okay.
and you reopen your PPT and then you share.
Okay, just a minute. I'll do
Yes,
that.
sir. No problem.
Now it is fine?
Sir, just let it open once. Just waiting. No, sir. The issue is still there. Just make it full screen, sir, once. No, the issue is still there. I think you should continue, sir. No problem.
Okay.
We can later on share these slides, right? Okay, sir.
Yeah. The genesis of IRINS, MHRD interested to develop their own research information management system in 2017. We developed a research information management system that's called Indian Research Information Management System. We developed the first prototype in 2018, April 2018. We launched a prototype for Pondicherry University. Later in 2018, we received a funding. September 2018, we received funding support from MHRD to implement this research information management system for entire higher education institution. At present, we have implemented near about 185 institutes, which include IITs, IIMs, NITs. Some of the R&D organizations also implemented this research information management system. The IRNS data integration and workflow, we used to collect only basic metadata about the faculty member, such as their name, affiliation, qualification, then their academic identities, such as Scopus ID, Google Scholar ID, Microsoft Academic ID, Researcher ID, Archid. These are the major ID we used to collect. Only we used to collect basic metadata about the faculty member. Based on the basic metadata, we used to collect publication from various sources, such as Scopus, Archid, Google Scholar, Microsoft Academic Search. The system automatically fetch based on their academic identity. The system automatically fetch only basic metadata about the faculty member. Based on this metadata, once again, the system fetch all this citation impact, such as from Scopus, Dimension, Crossref. These are the various sources we used to fetch their what is it called, their citation. Apart from citation, we also used to fetch a data from Altimetrics. Plus Dimension also recently they are providing that badge. Hello, Lavanya. Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Apart from that, what is it called, citation, we also used to collect social media metrics from Altimetrics. How many times this article, faculty article discussed, shared in the what is it called, YouTube, Facebook, or Figshare, all those places. These are we used to call that what is it called, Altimetrics. We used to collect this data from different sources. Once we have the system in hand, the system automatically link with their institutional repository as well as external repository. Actually, we used to fetch these links from base search, academic field search. The data integration workflow, at present we have integrated with Scopus, Archid, Google Scholar. We are not collecting the publication, but the citation and all those metrics we used to collect based on the academic, Google Scholar ID. The reason is Google Scholar, they are doing good job, but whereas some of the duplication is happening due to naming ambiguity. That's the reason we are not collecting any publication from Google Scholar, but whereas we are taking citation metrics from Google Scholar, such as what is H index, I10 index, all those information. Crossref, we fully integrated. We used to fetch a publication data from the Crossref based on their Archit ID, as well as citation from Crossref. Base search, anyway, we are not fetching any publication, but whereas we are fetching not citation, some other link we used to fetch from base search. Dimension, we have integrated for citation as well as social media metrics. Microsoft Academic Search as well as PubMed Central, we are it is under process. Very soon we are going to integrate with these two identities. The functional use of IRNS, an institute who are having this research information management system, they can generate various reports on publication, citation, H index. For example, institute want last 3 years, what is the productivity of all the department? How many articles they have published? What is the H index of the department? What is the citation? All those report they can generate. Then the institute, they can manage all those project and award, all those things they can manage using this research information system. Apart from this, the data can be used for annual academic review. Often faculty member, when they go for promotion or any other assessment, they have to use this data for their promotion or assessment. They can use effectively. They can use this research data from the research IR. Then profile and faculty member, they when they apply for project or when they go for any any funding agency or any application, they have to create their own CV. They have to depend on different sources. They have to compile their bibliography every time. Where this research information management system, then they can easily generate their CV directly. They can generate CV. They can send to anyone. Then external research assessment ranking system, even the system from the system, whenever they go for NAG or whenever they go for that NARF, easily they can take out the data from this research information management system and they can give it to them. Then institutional repository as well as domain specific repository. As I said earlier, we are using that base field academic search engine API to fetch link of all our articles. Since our article, all the article have DOI, based on the DOI, base search is to provide the link where the particular article publicly available. Based on this your research information management system directly linked with your institute without your knowledge. These are the major functional use of IRNS. Key feature and functionalities. A nodal officer, normally most of the nodal officer are librarian. They can manage their own profile. They can import information about the faculty member publication. For example, some of the institute, they may not have, the faculty member may not have Scopus ID or Google Scholar ID. If they have a publication in the BibTeX or CSV format, the nodal officer, they can manage using this dashboard. They can import all those articles. Then we have integrated with all the academic identities. Nowadays, academic identities play a very crucial role to remove this naming ambiguities. We have integrated academic identities such as Archit, Scopus ID, Google Scholar ID, Microsoft Academic ID, Research ID. These are the ID we have integrated. Citation, the system automatically fetch citation from different sources such as Scopus, Crossref, Dimension. Apart from that, we also fetch publication venue from Crossref. Publication venue in the sense where the faculty member, they have published a more number of articles, whether it is open access, closed access, whether it's a green or gold or brown OA, all those information the Crossref used to provide. OA article link, as I said earlier, we are using base search API to fetch full text publicly from the search. Recently, we added the citation from Dimension. Apart from that, we have Solr-based search engine we have used in the IRNS. Using that, anyone before coming for a student before coming to the institute, they can have a simply search and they can have a look at it, who are all the faculty, which area they are expertise in, whether the institute is apt for me, all those things they can do. The same way, the faculty members, they can simply do the search and they can find out who are all the collaborative researchers in the particular institute. They can find a expert in their respective field for their guidance as well as collaborative research. Analytics, based on the data, the system provides various analytics such as the productivity of the department, the productivity of the organization, the productivity of the individual faculty members. The network based on the publication as well as co-author, the system automatically generate co-author network based on the publication as well as collaboration. Social media metrics from Ultimetrics. Suppose your article is good, but you are not published article in the what is called Scopus Index Journal or Web of Science Index Journal. But people used to talk about your article in the social media, such as Facebook, Twitter. We used to fetch those kind of Ultimetrics from Ultimetrics. Apart from that, as I said, we used to give a full text link. Suppose the institution repository have this full text article, your IRNS directly give a link from your IRNS to your institutional repository. Those kind of linkage we are providing. These are the key features and functionalities. This is a data workflow, as I said earlier, just you can have a look at it. We used to collect only basic metadata from the faculty members, their name, affiliation, qualification, all those things. Then apart from that, we used to have this, what is called academic identity. Based on academic identity, you can have a right side, you can have a look at it. We used to fetch all the publications from Scopus, Google Scholar, Web of Science, as well as Crossref. We used to collect their publication based on their academic identity. Once we have a publication information, we used to collect their citation from various sources, citation as well as social media metrics from various sources. Once we have all this data, the system automatically generate various graphs, such as research productivity of the department, research productivity of the faculty member, who are all the co-author. Suppose some faculty member, they want to know, or some student research scholar want to know who are all the research collaborator with a particular faculty member. They can simply deselect or select particular year. Based on that, the graph automatically will change. This is a screenshot I have taken of IIT Madras. You can have a look at it directly. You can go iitm.irns.org. It shows that how many faculty members available in the institute, how many articles they have published. In the middle, you can have a look at it, how many articles they have published, all the current faculty together. The bottom, you can have a look at it, how many articles they have published in the closed access journal, how many articles they published in the open access journal, brown access, all those information it will give. Then it will give the citation from various sources, Crossref plus other sources, how many citations they received, all those information it will give. In the second row, left side, we can have a look at it, all the department, how many faculties are available, then who are all the top 10 faculty from the institute, then which are the top 10 articles from the institute, all those information the system provide. Apart from that, the system provide, what is it called, the graph. The graph, it shows that various department and their publication, their citation, as well as H index. These are the various analytics the system will provide. This is a home page of any IRNS instance. This one particular department instance, you can have a look at it. In the topmost, in the left topmost, it shows how many articles they have published, where they have published this article. In the middle part, it shows how many citations they received from different sources. What is the H index of the department? In the rightmost corner, it shows what is the research productivity of the department over a period of time. These are all different analytics the system will give. It is, you can have a look at it. It is a particular faculty profile. Left side, the faculty profile linked with all the academic identities such as Archit ID, Scopus ID, Researcher ID. Actually, some of the IDs are there that Microsoft, those IDs is not visible. In the middle part, you can have a look at it in the top. What is the research productivity of the faculty member? It shows the graph. Somebody mouse over it, it shows particular year how many articles published by this faculty member. Then it shows how many citations they received from different sources. What is the H index? Then it shows what is the Google Scholar citation? What is the H index of the what is it called? H index from the Google Scholar. What is the item index of the particular faculty member? All those information it will give. The right side shows what are the similar experts from the same department. What are the faculty members from the same department as well as similar expertise. I'll play a small video to from where we used to collect data from different sources. Even the individual institute, they can generate various report. You can have a look at it. These are the report they can generate based on this research information management system. Benefit to the stakeholders. Major stakeholders are the faculty members and scientists. It reduces the repetitive data entry work. As I said earlier, whenever they go for assessment or whenever they go for any project funding, they have to, every time they have to collect data from different sources. They have to create their own CV, or they have to provide the combined information there. But whereas if they have a research information management system, the faculty members simply they can export their all the publication as well as their profile and give it to them. It enables research-related metadata more discoverable and interoperable. It will attract more number of collaborative research from the external organizations. Even if a system institute, they may not have, suppose the institute who do not have the research information management system, they don't have any opportunity to showcase their research product to the outside world. Whereas this IRNS bring more visibility to their research work, as well as it will attract more number of funding opportunity from various funding agency, as well as collaborative research from the outside organization. What is the benefit to the organization? It provide new insight to the research administrator about the research interest of the faculty member, research focus of the department as well as schools. It enabled the administrator to generate various report for research assessment of the faculty member as well as department. Reduce the time to collect research related information often from the department as well as faculty member. All of you know about that. It's how much difficult to collect data from the department as well as faculty member when they need the data. Suppose UGC or some funding agencies, they are asking data last 3 years, last 1 year, what is your research productivity, department wise or faculty wise. It is very difficult to collect from faculty member. Whereas if they have this research information management system, directly they can generate report, they can send to anyone. The funding agency, it assists the funding agency and policymaker finding reviewer for their project or what is it called, whatever it may be, project or other purposes, as well as the system provide data to various funding agencies such as NDL, NARF. They can fetch data and provide this data to any funding agency or national level assessment agency for the assessment purpose. These are the benefit to the major stakeholders. I'll skip this slide. What we have achieved, as on today, we have implemented this IRNS for 185 institute. Altogether, we have connected near about 33,000 faculty members. Through this project, we have collected near about 4,73,000 article metadata. Only metadata we used to collect. We don't have any other full text and all. These data received citation more than 54 lakh citation from Scopus, 43 lakh citation from 43 plus citation from Crossref. And how many out of these 4,73,000 article, near about 64,000 article publicly available. Even nobody know about that. Even they may know about that, but they don't know which source. But whereas the system provide link to all these 64,000 articles. These are some of the analytics I have taken. One screenshot for IIT Delhi. Same kind of analytics the institute can generate. They can use it for their various purposes. The international collaboration, IRNS is a member of Eurocris. Even we recently presented in the FISCI as well as FOSS11 about our IRNS. Even we have a meeting with Eurocris secretary to implement this IRNS in outside India. Even since we are a member, we used to populate this data to Eurocris directory. You can have a look at it. Eurocris, they are maintaining the directory of current research information management system. As on today, In India, we have implemented near about 100. India, as on today, India 186 institute they are using current research information management system. Out of 186, 185 of it is IRINS. One is it's a product of elsewhere that is called Pure. Manipal Institute of Technology they are using the Pure as a quiz system. This is a screenshot I have taken from the Eurocris site. It shows how many implementation happened this IRNS entire country. This our India, how many implementation happened? As I said, we implemented near about 185 institutes. These are all distribution, which include all the IITs. Most of the IIT we have implemented IITs, NITs, IIMs, and central universities, state universities, even some of the R&D institute they are using, such as CSIR, National Aerospace Laboratory, DBT, Brain Research Institute, Rice Research Institute. So many institutes they are using this IRNS. Slowly it is spreading all over India. These are the screenshots. Just I'll show some of the institute logo. That's all. If you have any questions, you can ask. Vibhuti?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. First of all, I must thank LIS Academy for giving me this opportunity to moderate this panel. And especially.
Can you stop sharing your screen?
Okay, Kanan, please stop the sharing your. Please stop sharing your PPT.
Wait, Kannan.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm thankful to Dr. Kunur, my friend Sivram, NCSI NET and LIS Academy for giving me this opportunity to moderate this particular session. So this particular topic is really close to my heart because we have as a librarian we are doing all this thing. I think we are also part of IRINS. I think all of the library systems they are looking for a solution which will give a better visibility inside their community. So I think IRNS has satisfied our requirement. In fact, before that we were using some of the website which were not fully giving the information from the different databases. But as a librarian, what we need is like we have a better role. Like we are subscribing to Scopus, Web of Science, and many third-party databases. We need to as a librarian, because you see we are participating in many ranking agencies and all. So as a librarian, you have to do like we have to cross-check whether our data is correct or not. That is very important on our behalf, because people are thinking, okay, Web of Science and Scopus has database that must be correct. But yes, that is correct. But there are so many variations, like IIT Bhubaneswar. Somebody is right, Indian Institute of Technology. So system cannot understand those two are one, but that somebody has to moderate like that. So we need librarian has a better, greater role in doing this thing. But now I'll come to. I don't want to take much time, but I'll come to the question answer session. There are about, I think, more than 29 questions have been put. So many of the repetition and many are there. So it is difficult to take many questions. I'll start from like somebody like Nagajyoti SK, then Dr. S. Katimani, Sanmati, Jain, Kunjal, Panchal. So I'm just giving the names like that. So I'll take two questions like Madhu BL, like IRNS database already we are using, but in that article are picked up. Is it possible to pick articles affiliated to an institution who will be picked from Google Scholar database search also? Kanan, please.
Bhubati, I couldn't get your question.
Question is like, you see, we are getting from IRNS database, we are getting Scopus articles. Okay. But as you mentioned that Google Scholar citation we get, but we don't get articles like
the Google Scholar. The reason is if the institute they curate all the Google Scholar profile, we can fetch a data. As you know, all of you know about that. Google they are doing great job. Whereas due to this naming ambiguity, even for example, Rajkumar from particular university, he would have published only 10 articles, but whereas Google Scholar show 30-50 articles. If I use your Google, the particular Rajkumar Google Scholar ID, the system automatically fetch all the 60 articles.
Can
Google,
it,
it won't provide any affiliation related information. That's the reason we are not fetching article data at present, article data from Google Scholar. But whereas Google recently enabled that feature called, you can curate your Google profile. You can stop that automatic update. If entire faculty member they have done this kind of job, then immediately we can fetch a data from the Google Scholar. There is no issue at all.
Thank you, thank you. Can it possible like you are using ORCID ID? I mean, if somebody will mention in the Google Scholar, so that they can get from Google Scholar, can it be done like that?
No, that's what I'm telling. If
Yeah.
the faculty member they have done, if the article, I don't think Google Scholar article have this ARCHIT ID.
Okay.
If suppose if the faculty member have all the faculty member have ARCHIT ID, we will fetch data from directly from ARCHIT ID. Why we have to go to Google Scholar? We can use directly from ARCHIT ID. If all the faculty member they have ARCHIT ID, they have added all the article. Whether this article whichever is having DOA as well as whichever journal they have published in the Scopus Index journal or Web of Science Index journal, automatically it will reflect in your ARCHIT ID. Whereas your article which is published not in the Web of Science or Scopus Index journal, those article manually the faculty member has to add in the what is it called ARCHIT ID. If it is available in the ARCHIT ID directly, the system will fetch from ARCHIT ID.
Another question from Mr. Vishal Gupta, Elsevier. His question is, if Google Scholar has ambiguous data, like I think you have already mentioned, why
Yeah.
it being considered for citation data? The source of citation is also ambiguous.
Yeah, it may be correct. It may be correct. Some of the institute, I think Sivaram also is there. Sivaram only asked this question to integrate the Google Scholar. Actually, their faculty member, they have more number of citation in the, what is it called, Scopus, some of the faculty member. But some of the faculty member, their article not in the Scopus or Web of Science, but they want to, they have their more number of citation as well as other metrics in the Google Scholar. Sivaram asked me whether we can integrate Google Scholar. We have integrated. But your point is correct. But over a period of time, as I said, the faculty, the librarian, they can educate the faculty member to curate their profile in the Google Scholar, then it will be better. That's the reason, one of the main reason we are not taking that article from Google Scholar. But citation simply we are showing. They are based on Google Scholar ID, simply we are showing. We are not storing anywhere. Simply we are showing that citation metrics from Google Scholar. That's all.
Okay, thank you. There is another question like from Sammati Jain. What is the difference between IRNS and Vidwan? Because you have two databases. Can you please put a light on that?
Yeah,
What is the
actually
difference?
Vidwan as well as IRNS both are same. Even if you have a look at that ID, profile ID, Vidwan as well as IRNS both are same. Vidwan we started as an expert database at the beginning, but all the institute they may not have all the faculty profile in the Vidwan. Based on the faculty interest, they can register in the Vidwan. Whereas IRNS it's a complete view of the institute. If you want to create an instance for a particular institute, the nodal officer, most probably the librarian is the nodal officer, they have to provide entire faculty detail. Then we'll create an instance. It gives some kind of meaning. Otherwise, without any data, we can't create an instance. The difference is the IRNS, you can have a department view, you can have a faculty view, we can have an institute. Whereas in the Vidwan, you can have, anybody can register as an expert. That's a major difference. But whereas the system using both are using same database.
One interesting question has come, like NP Ravi Kumar. Is it compulsory to subscribe Scopus Web of Science to enable to implement IRNS?
No, it is not mandatory to. It is not at all mandatory to subscribe Scopus or Web of Science. Since we are using that public API, whatever is available with them, we are using the public API to fetch a data from Scopus as well as ARCHID, Crossref. It is not mandatory to be a subscriber of Scopus or Web of Science to implement this IRNS. There is a three-way. Based on your the system automatically fetch based on your Scopus ID, researcher ID, or ARCHID ID. If the faculty have a ARCHID ID directly, it will fetch from ARCHID ID first. If it is not that, then only it will go for Scopus ID or researcher ID, some other IDs. Okay. If my encouragement to all the participant is, if you want to implement, first of all, you encourage your faculty member to register with the ARCHID ID. It will provide more. If you have all the faculty member ARCHID ID, their publication are already available in the Architect. From there we can fetch easily. We can fetch data to IRINS. It is not necessary to be mandatory to subscribe any of the database.
I think there are so many questions. It is difficult to answer these questions. So I think the yes, please.
We will stop, or maybe
Yes.
many questions we will
Yeah.
on to speaker, and we will answer through either email, or we will host it on website.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kannan.
I'll share my PPT. So Swaram, you can share my email ID. Anybody have a question, they can send a mail to us.
Kannan sir, can I ask you one question, Kannan sir?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me.
So this is Vishal. So sir, I also want to know that in IRINS, can any institute see how many publications specifically on Scopus, how many on Web of Science, like this data? How many citations on Scopus?
At present, it is not there.
So sir, I think for institutes that are aiming for global rankings like TIG and QS and other rankings, I think for them, this data is important, that, how many citations on Scopus, how many publications on Scopus, and Web of Science, etc. So I think
actually we have, you may be knowing about that. We have that, we are using your badge, that citation badge, like Scopus, Dimension. We are using this badge to show the citation. But we are not saving those data with us. That's the reason we don't know. But we can find some solution, because until now nobody asked this kind of question. If somebody asks, we will find a solution how to put some kind of filter. These are the article, a particular faculty member published in Scopus Index Journal. These are the article. These many articles published in Scopus Index Journal. These many articles published in the Web of Science Index Journal. Those kind of filter we can use it. We can explore that possibilities. At present, it is not there.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, Kannan. Now I hand over to Sivaram, please.
Thank you, Mr. Kannan. It was a wonderful talk, and I'm sure research management system is a new portfolio where our librarians can pitch in and help our organization by aggregating and curating research data, which can be used in various accrediting and ranking frameworks. Thank you very much for your talk, Kannan.